Have you ever promised yourself you'd read more and then just scrolled instead? But what if, starting today, you actually read for 20 minutes every single day? No pressure to finish a book a week, just 20 quiet minutes with a page or an e-reader. It sounds small, almost too small to matter. But that tiny habit can quietly rewire your brain, shape your mood, and even change how you think about the world. First, let's talk about why 20 minutes is a kind of magic number. Researchers and educators often use 15 to 30 minutes a day as the recommended zone for real benefits, and 20 minutes sits right in that sweet spot. It's long enough for your brain to drop in and focus, but short enough to fit into a busy life. Studies show that people who read around this amount each day build stronger vocabulary, better comprehension, and higher reading achievement over time. Now, imagine what happens inside your head during those minutes. Reading is like a full-body workout for your brain. Brain imaging studies show that when you read, multiple regions light up at once. Language areas, memory systems, and regions linked to imagination and attention. Over time, regular reading is linked to better cognitive performance and even structural changes in the brain, such as stronger connections and more efficient processing. Even 15 to 30 minutes a day has been associated with slower cognitive decline as we age and a lower risk of problems with memory and thinking later in life. Think of those 20 daily minutes as a long-term investment in your future brain. But the benefits aren't just someday when you're older. Reading is also one of the simplest stress relief tools you can use. In some experiments, just a few minutes of reading lowered stress levels more than listening to music or taking a short walk, helping reduce heart rate and muscle tension. Many doctors and sleep experts now recommend reading as part of a bedtime routine because it helps the mind unwind, improves sleep quality, and gives your nervous system a chance to slow down. So those 20 minutes aren't just about being productive or finishing books. They're about stepping out of constant noise, letting your brain focus on one thing, and giving both your mind and body a chance to reset. But reading 20 minutes a day doesn't just make your brain stronger. It can also quietly upgrade the way you speak, write, and think. Regular readers are exposed to far more words, sentence patterns, and ideas than people who rarely read, which builds vocabulary and language skills almost without you noticing. Over months and years, that shows up in clearer thinking, better communication, and feeling more confident expressing yourself at work, in studies, or even in everyday conversations. There's also a surprising emotional side. Reading, especially stories, can improve empathy by letting you experience life through someone else's eyes. Studies suggest that people who read regularly tend to understand emotions better, feel less lonely, and handle social situations more smoothly. In other words, those 20 minutes can slowly train you to be better with people, not just better with information. But here's the catch. Reading alone doesn't guarantee change. If you only collect ideas and never apply them, you're basically entertaining your brain, like scrolling but with nicer fonts. You can read 20 minutes of self-help, psychology, or business every day and still stay stuck if your actions remain the same. So how do you avoid just feeling productive and actually become better? One simple rule. Don't close the book until you decided on one tiny action. After each reading session, ask, what is one thing I can do differently today because of this? It could be as small as trying one communication tip from a psychology book, adjusting one habit from a productivity book, or testing one idea from a finance chapter. Turning ideas into experiments is what transforms reading from passive consumption into personal evolution. And what about fiction? Is it a waste of time? Not at all. Fiction can boost empathy, creativity, imagination, and even stress relief. But if you only ever read stories and never touch nonfiction, you might be missing chances to upgrade your real-life skills, habits, and knowledge. A good balance could be something like some days for pure enjoyment and storytelling, other days for books that directly improve your health, work, money, or relationships. Think of it this way. Fiction feeds your imagination and heart. Nonfiction feeds your decisions and habits. Both matter, But if your life isn't changing, gently tilt the ratio toward books that challenge you to act. So what happens when you keep this 20-minute reading habit for months, even years? First, you'll likely finish dozens of books, sometimes enough to spark real change. But here's the key. It's not about speed reading or power reading. It's about consistent, intentional reading that builds knowledge and shapes habits over time. With the right reading list, a smart mix of fiction for creativity and empathy, plus nonfiction for skills and self-improvement, you'll start seeing real-life results. You might master new ideas, learn better ways to handle challenges, or find inspiration that helps you break old patterns. Plus, each day you build focus and mental resilience. Your brain gets better at concentrating, remembering, and processing information. That pays off not just in reading, but in work, conversations, and problem solving. The challenge? Staying curious and avoiding reading as a passive habit or pure entertainment. Keep asking, what does this teach me? How can I apply it? Because that's where reading transforms from leisure to life upgrade. And if you're short on time, don't worry. Audiobooks can be a great solution. You can listen to fiction audiobooks for entertainment and relaxation when on the go, and reserve your reading time for nonfiction to really absorb new skills and knowledge. But don't just passively listen. Make sure to pause, take notes, or bookmark when you hear something interesting or useful. Reflect on it, and if possible, put related ideas into action soon after. This turns audio listening from background noise into an active learning experience. Remember, like any habit, it's okay to start small, even a page or two on busy days. The secret is making reading a daily companion that grows with you. Thanks for walking this journey through books with CultureVerse. If you've enjoyed this deep dive, hit subscribe and let us know in the comments what other what-if questions you want to explore. Keep reading, keep growing, and as always, stay curious.